Hi everyone, Barry here from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today and thank you for joining me for the Stamp Around UK video hop. Today's theme is Winter Birthday and I will be using the lovely Arrange a Reef stamp set and coordinating Wreath Builder Dies for this one right here. I will also be using the Absolutely Argyle 3D embossing folder, this one, and I'm going to pair it with this piece of Designer Series paper, this one right here, from the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper pack. So that's what we're going to be using. Sentiment I'm going to be using is from the lovely Darling Donkeys stamp set. Now this stamp set you can actually get free of charge when you spend £45 or more during celebrations. So that's from the 5th of January until the 28th of February. And so this stamp set will be free of charge for every when you spend £45 or more. And conveniently, the stamp set and bundle for the Arrange a Reef is £49.50. So if you like this bundle, so the stamp set and the dies, you can also get this lovely stamp set free of charge. There are other stamp sets and there are other Designer Series paper packs as well available. So if you don't particularly like this one, you can choose some other ones. So come back and check that out on the 5th. But obviously if you can't wait, you can purchase the stamp set and the dies right now and anything you see us using apart from this one right here. From the 5th of January to the 28th of February. Okay. Be sure to check out the links down below in the description to continue hopping along with everyone else in the Stamp Around UK video hop. And yes, so I'm going to crack on and show you today's Winter Birthday theme card. So as mentioned, I'm going to grab myself, so you've got your tools, you see what tools I'm using. So I'm going to take myself some Whisper White thick. Okay, so some thick cardstock suitable for your card base, and this is measuring 21 centimeters by 14.6, and I want to score this at 10.5 centimeters. I would also need a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock. As you can see, this has been gutted already, but if you don't want to gut it, you don't have to. You can use another bit for this part, but it's going to get covered up, so it made sense to gut this. This is measuring 9.9 centimeters by 14 centimeters. You will need a bit of standard white cardstock. This is measuring at 9.6 centimeters by 13.7 centimeters. And a bit of Designer Series paper measuring 5 centimeters by 9.6 centimeters. Okay, you would also need a bit of the some of the scalloped linen ribbon. So this is the Seaside Spray linen ribbon. So this is the one which we're going to be using here today, and you need approximately 16 centimeters of this one right here. And you would also need some scrap of the cardstock in the Seaside Spray as well to cut out some of the lovely flowers which are part of the die set as well, so the part of the Wreath Builder Dies. So you'll need to cut 3 of those out. This is a part which we have gutted, so you can see there we've gutted. This is a bit for this one, but you can see it's going to get covered over. You'll need a bit of Whisper White to cut out another wreath, and you will also need some silver foil, which we are going to cut this die out here, but in the silver. Okay, so that's everything you will need there. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. And first things first is I'm going to cut my dies. I'm going to cut my wreath out of my silver foil. So all of the dies, this is all of the dies that you get in here. So you get you get 2 types of wreaths, so depending on what you want. You can build up a bow. You've got some eggs. So the stamp set itself is all round. So you can go with your wreaths. You've got different sentiments here for different occasions. And you can build up some flowers. You've got your poinsettias, which you can do on here as well. You've got some flowers, so depending on what colour combination you use, you can make an awful lot. You've got the Easter eggs and you've got the dies which coordinate with those. So it's one which is definitely a set which goes all year round, which is why I think this is perfect for this particular one. But I've decided to use a sentiment from another stamp set just to show you obviously what you can get free of charge as well. So I am going to be using this one right here. And I'm going to be taking my foil And I'm going to bring in the cutting machine. So I'm going to bring in our Suki and I'm going to do some cutting. So that's ready for doing embossing. So let's just run this through the machine. Like so. That's it. I'm going quite slow so I don't drop the camera too much. And there we go, pop that to one side. Pop that to one side as well. And then we have it. So we just punch out the middle parts, and then we're going to take your pick tool, and we're just going to then just punch. So using these little release holes, just to remove the actual die from the paper from the die. There we go. And then we'll just take your pick tool just to punch out some of those extra little bits. There. It cuts perfectly as well. It's a really good cut. First time round, no problems. Okay, so that's that one. So we've already gone ahead, as you've seen, and we've gone and cut that one out in Misty Moonlight and also in the Whisper White. So what we will do here is we will just stick these together. So we want to just pop a little bit of glue on the back of the Misty Moonlight one. So I'm just going to go round just gently around the circle part. And then I'm just going to layer that on top and just off center that a little bit so it's not in the complete mirror image. And then just lay that on top, like so. So it's slightly off-centered. And then we would do exactly the same with the white one. So we will pop some glue just around the ring. Like so. And then stick that on. And then just position that into a nice position. And that goes on top. So we just pop that to one side just to set up. And done. So there's our wreath kind of built already. So you can do this in so many different colours. But because this is Winter Birthday, the blues and the silver, the Misty Moonlight, the silver and the white, I think work lovely for a winter birthday. So let's just pop that to one side just to set up for a second. And obviously you've got this part here as well, so I'm not sure what you can do with this part. We haven't quite, but obviously don't get rid of it because you can still cut stuff out of the middle. But if anyone's got any genius ideas what to do with this, let us know. Okay, so that's that part. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do some embossing. So I've grabbed my bit of Whisper White, which I cut down to 9.6 by 13.7. And I'm going to also grab my embossing folder, so the Absolutely Argyle 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to run this through the machine. Okay, so let's bring in the Suki again, so the Stampin' Up cut emboss machine, and we need some different plates. So we need 1 and 4. So the instructions are all on here on what plates you actually need as well. So if you ever get confused with what plates you need, the Stampin' Up machine has it printed on the plates as well. So because we're using a 3D embossing folder, it tells me I need to use plates number 1 and 4. So I've got number 1, numbers there, and I've got number 4, which is right here. I'm going to pop this in into the folder. So I'm just going to move this out of the way and just show you a tip. So with this here, you've got this line. It's very handy when popping stuff in. So you can go around, you can then use that line to make sure you've got something straight, and you can use the Stampin' Up logo to make sure you've got things centered as well. So if you want to make sure that the pattern is even all the way through, use those two things to help you out with trying to position everything. Bring in the Suki once again. So we've called ours the Suki, the Stampin' Up cut emboss machine. And we then just want to run this through to emboss. That's it. So remember, whilst you've got your machine out as well, you want to be cutting yourself some of those little blue flowers in the soft seaside spray. So once we've embossed, we can then take that out, and look how lovely that is. It's 3D, it's detailed in it, is absolutely stunning. Can you see that there? Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. So really, really nice folder. So what we're going to do is we will stick this straight down onto the Misty Moonlight piece, which we prepped earlier on. So we're going to just pop a little bit so I'm just going to pop it around the edges. I would normally go in the middle, but I'm not going to, so I'm just going to do that on here because I've got a big hole in the middle at the moment, so, and I don't want it to stick to my table. So I'm just going to position that in like so, and then just get that into position. Like that. And then just get that nice and stuck. Okay. So next thing I want to do is I want to take the designer series piece of paper. So I would be, if you're tempted to now stick this straight to your card base, I would avoid doing that for the moment because we want to do something with the ribbon. So don't be tempted to stick this down just yet. What we want to do is we want to position this in this position right here. So we're kind of going down into the lower half, and we're just going to stick this directly onto the card itself, onto the embossed image. Okay, and that's going to go down just like that. And then just position that. Good. And then we want to then take some ribbon. So we've got that one. And we just want to take enough so that we've got it. We've got a little bit of an overhang. So as I said, it's approximately 16 centimeters. And then snip off. So I'm either gonna pop it in there or I'm gonna cover up a seam. I'm not quite sure yet, so I'm just gonna decide, because it's slightly different to how I originally did this. So, because I now want to decide this here is going to go on, actually, so I think, yeah, no, I'm gonna do it at the top there, because I want it cutting through the middle of the reef, or roughly in the middle of the reef. So I've got this. I'm going to bring myself in some tear and tape. And the way that we attach our ribbons like this is that we pop it where we want it to be. And we're kind of covering that seam up here as well. And then fold it over one side. And then tear and tape over the back of it. And then we then do exactly the same, the other side. Bring it over straight, put it so it's slightly taut, and tear and tape over the back, like that. Okay, and that's how we attach our ribbon. If you wanted to, the ribbon is solid enough and it's strong enough that you could put a bit of tape in the middle as well if you really wanted to hold it down, but I don't think it necessarily needs it because we're going to be popping the reef over the top of this. So that's that one. And now it's a matter of now just constructing the rest of this. So we're good to now stick this to our card base. So I've got my card base. I just need to bone fold it to score it. So remember, this was 21 by 14.6 and we scored it at 10.5. stone folder to get a nice crisp image, crisp line even, and then that's going to then stick on top of that, like there. So we'll just pop some glue all over the back of this. So there's our Christmas clock going. And then we will then just stick that and push that, get that central within that card. Like so. Okay. Next thing, we will then position this wreath. So we will get the glue again, and we will just stick some glue again around the center ring. And then we can then just position that over that, like there. Just going to come down, actually go up a little bit. That one, just like that there. Okay, so we are nearly finished with this. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take some scrap bit of Whisper White, which we've got here, and I'm going to use Misty Moonlight ink, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment, so it's your birthday, from the Darling Donkeys. Just there. Another tool which I'm going to use is I'm going to use the classic label punch, and this is perfect for these small sentiments, and we're just going to then pop that in there, centralize that within that. See, if you've got dies, which is, there's lots of dies out there as well at the moment, which will be perfect for this, some nice small dies which will give you some stitching. But if you haven't got that, then a punch is perfect for these. So that's that one. Then we've got our bits right here. So I'm just going to take the foam mat at the moment. I'm just going to pop these on here, and using the end of my take your pick tool, I'm just going to just push in, and I can then just, I don't know if I got, no, I haven't. Yeah, there is another attachment which will have a stylus on it, but I haven't got that with me, but that works just as well. Just gives that a little bit of dimension. And I've got myself some of the basic jewel rhinestones, and I'm just going to take these, and I'm going to take one of the larger ones for the larger die, pop that in the center of that one there, and I'll take the smaller ones there, and there. So let's pop those over there. Then bring the card back in again. We're just going to pop some glue on the back of these, because obviously there's a hole in the center of these flowers, so the rhinestone hasn't quite attached to it, so which is fine, but if we put the glue over the top of it, that will then set up and then make that permanent. So we're going to pop one of those flowers down the bottom down there. We can go back in a moment, and we can, once that's dry, we can go back and we can give those flowers a bit more dimension. Over like that. And another one up the top there. What is it? When you do things off camera, it works perfectly, doesn't it? There we go. That's the one, that one there. And we will then just pop this one over here. So I'm just going to go down with a bit of glue. And that one can get stuck over there. To finish off, we will take our sentiment. We will take some of the mini stamping dimensionals. And all we want to do is we just want to pop a couple of these dimensionals on the back of this sentiment here. And stick that down. So good. So like I said earlier, be sure to check out the links in the description to follow on to the next person in the hop and see what amazing projects they have done with the theme of Winter Birthday for the lovely Stamp Around the UK video hop. And we're just going to pop that in like that. That's going to go cover up that part of the ribbon and in like that. So there we go. There is our card for the Stamp Around UK video hop with the theme of Winter Birthday. Please be sure to give us the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this card. Also leave us a comment down in the description down below. Also check out the descriptions for the links to the next person and for links to our online shop and website and all of the other bits which we think you may find interesting. Thank you very much. Have a great day and we will see you again very soon. Bye for now. Bye.